is Wednesday. It is our Wow Wednesday, one of our Wow Wednesdays for this month. I'm Alicia. If you are hopping on, nice to meet you. I know we have a lot of new ladies here in this group, so just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Alicia. I'm the founder of the group. I am your health coach for this group. I'm super excited to be here and share some top 5 reasons why you fail to eat healthier today. So if you're watching in the group right now, make sure, let me know if you can hear me in the comments. I've had some issues with my audio. I'm hoping it's better today. So yeah, if you're watching, I'm going to also just make sure we're live in the group real quick. But if you're watching, say hello in the comments. If you're watching now, of course, put live and let me know. Or if you're watching this later, that's okay too. I know we all are from all over the place in the world, literally. Excuse me, I have ladies who watch in Pakistan. So it's really awesome to be able to come to you via the internet. I think it's really cool how God has given us these tools and we can use them for good and they can be used for evil, right? So, but God has called me here and I am excited to be here today. So we check. Yep, looks like we're live. Yeah. Okay, cool. Jennifer says hi. Good to see you, Jennifer. Thanks for saying hello, letting me know that you can hear me. So I'm going to get going. I have a lot to cover today. Today's training might be a little bit longer, so just prepare yourself for that. And, I understand we have things going on. One thing I like to do is listen to podcasts while I do other things that are kind of monotonous, like folding laundry or whatever. So while I think that's good, I would definitely have a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil and just be able to jot some notes down because I really feel like today is really going to be helpful for you. And so if you feel like the nutrition side of your health journey has always been kind of frustrating, confusing, or just feels really too hard for you, then I think you're going to get a lot out of today's class for today. So sometimes also, you might feel like you're doing the right things. I know I have a lot of ladies that I talk to in this group, and you might feel like you have things that you're doing that are helping, but maybe there's just some missing pieces, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to be sharing my 5 top reasons why it seems like you might be failing when it comes to eating healthier. So I also want to just invite everybody and say hello. Welcome to you. Welcome to this group. I really want you guys to kind of understand what this group is for. I've really started to reevaluate where I want to go in this group. And those of you who have been here for a while, you've probably seen the change just from the last year of how things have gone and what we're talking about here. So I really want to share with you really quickly why I created this group. And the reason for that is that I wanted a community for moms who want to follow Jesus and want to be empowered by the Word of God to not only lose weight, but yes, lose weight, get healthier, but also be whole. And I find that a lot of us struggle with food addictions. And so I want us to get free from food addictions, self-sabotage, those kinds of things when it comes to our health journey. And the way that we're doing that in this group is we're learning to do this by understanding our worth and our value and who God says we are as his daughters. And so if that's you, if you've struggled with food addictions or you just don't understand food and it seems to be the main obstacle, and or there's other pieces of our health journey too, but something always seems to get in the way, and a lot of time it can be food, then that's what we're doing here in this group. And so if that's you, welcome to this group. You're in the right place. What I teach in this group and what I really believe, and I want to stress this, is that God desires to see us healthier as a whole. And that is in spirit, soul, and body. And the reason for that is because if you look at who God is and how he created everything, he has really designed us to thrive in life. And I often find that as moms or as women, especially, we are not doing that in this life. We're stressed out. We're too busy. There's no time for our health. And it's causing lots of problems in our world, right? So I want to provide you ladies with some education and understanding of foundational healthy habits that have to be in place in order for you to move forward and honestly to be what's the word I want to use, expedited in your health journey, and not just physically though, but spiritually too, because there's a lot of mentalities that we struggle with, and it comes from a spiritual brokenness. Okay, so that's what we're doing, and so I want to inspire you to transform your health as a whole from a place of a biblical and spiritual background with our faith, and in our spirit, in our physical life as well. So that's what we're doing. And also, if you're watching this video later in YouTube, hello to you, welcome, thank you for watching. Come join us in the Healthy Moms of Faith group. I have a lot more free resources. We do challenges, a lot more to offer you if you are on Facebook. So come join us. It's facebook.com/groups/Healthy Moms of Faith, all one word. And by the way, I just wanted to let you know too that I am passionate about moms, but I have run into a lot of just women in general. So, if you're here in this group and you're not a mom, when I say moms, I'm including you in that too. You might have a niece, you might have a nephew, you might have someone that you are still being a mom to, even maybe not even realizing it, but women, moms, we just tend to do all the things, right? And so I just want to make sure that I clarify that. Honestly, I've tried to change the name for our group, and there's only so many words you can use in the name. And so every time I keep thinking about, I want women, Christian women, to understand you're welcome in this group, even if you don't have your own child, even if you haven't birthed your own child, maybe you're an adopted mom, and it's for women of all ages too. I get that a lot. Well, I'm an older mom. No, it's for women of all ages. If you suffer with any part of your health journey and you feel like food is kind of in the way, and spiritually you want to get healthier and you want to allow the Lord to be a part of your journey, then this group is for you. All right. So I just want to clarify that. Make sure you invite your friends to this group, that those things apply to them as well. All right, so I'm going to get on with our training today. I'm super excited to share these things. It's really cool as I put my notes together, just the things that come to mind and the explanations of how to share these things with you. So I'm really excited. Put food in the comments if you're ready to go on our training today. If you haven't yet, grab a piece of paper or a pen or a notebook and take some notes as you're listening. Who do we have? Sue is watching. Hello, Sue. Thanks for dropping by. I see a few people are watching. So I want to tackle really quickly. A few weeks ago, and again, I put this in the comments for this video as well. If you didn't watch the class I did on how to get rid of this word failure when it comes to your food relationship, I would highly, highly recommend you go back and watch that video. It's linked in the notes above in this video. Go watch that, because I say fail, and I was thinking about this when I was preparing my notes yesterday, and the fact that when we say we fail when it comes to eating healthier, I just want to kind of rephrase that and wanted to explain that really quickly. So, today I want us to attack the physical ways that we might fail when it comes to eating healthier, but I actually want to change that word and share with you that it's honestly just being unprepared to eat healthier. This is what I've found. And so when it comes to eating healthier and your relationship with food, again, go watch the training I did a few weeks ago, because it is a mentality. That failure mentality is something we need to be rid of, because it does hold us back. And we talked a lot about some spiritual reasons, how we can get rid of that. And so that goes together with today. But today I want us to actually look at some physical ways of giving you some knowledge on how you can actually get healthier and eat healthier. But a lot of the times it's because you're unprepared and you're misinformed, okay? And so first of all, let me let every single one of you off the hook in here. If you are not a health coach, a nutritionist, a personal trainer, I know I have a bunch of those in here too, but if you're someone who really has not really looked into nutrition or looked into and studied different ways of how to get healthier, I know some of us have done that in certain ways, but let me just let you off the hook that you don't have to know everything that there is to eating healthier. So just let me let you off the hook there. We are the body of Christ, right? This is why it is so important for you to be in a community of believers locally and, across the universe, where we can encourage each other and we can use our gifts and talents to help each other out. That is why I'm here. Okay, my purpose God has given me, and the gifts and talents He has given me is, there's lots of them, of course, but one of them is understanding food, is being a health coach, is being a personal trainer. That's the gifts and talents and the passion I have, and doing it from a place of allowing the Lord to be in this process. And so this is something I've taken 20 years time, and I'm still studying. I am studying for my nutrition coach certification, because I want more knowledge. I want to understand more. And this is my passion, and I understand it. And so I just want to let you off the hook that you don't have to know everything. Okay. And I know the do-it-yourselfers, you don't like to hear that. And I am a do-it-myself in some ways, right? So I just want to let you off the hook there and help you understand you don't have to know it all. Okay. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I want to share these things with you today. So if you're excited about that, let me know in the comments. Let's get going. So I was thinking about this analogy of when it comes to eating healthier, right? I hear lots of things along the lines of what is healthier. And so I want to kind of break this down for you. So I have my 5 top reasons of the reasons I think you fail to eat healthier, or you're unprepared. I'm going to just reword that now. You're unprepared or misinformed to eat healthier. And I'm going to break this down into the what, and you can write this down: the what, the why, and the how. Okay? The what, the why, and the how. So I want you to kind of think about, have you ever started a new project? Something that you're creating, right? Something from scratch. It could be building a house. It could be, I don't know if you're a crafter. It could even be a new recipe that you're doing, that maybe you make your own recipes. I don't know. So when you start a project, do you have everything that you need in that moment in time? Not usually, right? You're in this process of creating. So usually what happens when you're starting something new is you don't have all the things initially together in order to finish that project, right? Does that make sense? So that's how I want to break this down for you today, is when it comes to your health journey and it comes to eating healthier, these are very applicable reasons to the what, the why, and to the how of putting this whole project together and helping you figure out what you need for your health journey. Okay. So the first two actually go together with the what and the why of how we put this together in understanding how to eat healthier. And so let me know in the comments if you're ready for number 1. If you're excited about this. Jennifer says, so excited. Awesome. So the first top reason that I find you fail to eat healthier is part of the what. And the what is that your definition of healthy is actually missing pieces, or it has incomplete information. I'm going to say that again so you can write that down if you want. Your definition of healthy is actually missing pieces, and it has incomplete information, and or it's completely wrong. I will put that in there too. That wasn't on my notes. So for instance, you're misinformed about foods that are healthy or not. Ever think about a food source that you've heard the controversy over and over again? They go back and forth between whether is this healthy, is it not healthy? So again, this is part of the what, is that your definition of healthy is missing pieces or has incomplete information. Where does this come from? Why do we have this problem? Unfortunately, there's so much information out there now on the internet that's supposedly reliable. Now, I will say, because I'm a health coach, because I've been nurtured by different people who know what they're talking about, I know where to go on the internet and to understand what is probably the correct info and what is not. And so I'm not saying YouTube is bad. I'm not saying workouts from there are bad necessarily, but it's just that it can get really confusing, right? There's also these mentalities from quick fixes other weight loss or fitness programs, or even products that will give you this information that is supposed to help you get healthy. But it's part of that problem is it's not consistent, right? Have you ever felt that way? I know I felt this way several years ago where I was like, oh my goodness, I can't seem to find one thing that I should do to be healthy that's really consistent across the board, right? And so that's part of this what. And the real key here when it comes to eating healthy that I have found is that you don't have an understanding of food and what its purpose is. You don't understand food is designed for fuel. And I talk about that a lot in this group, but I just want to reiterate this because when I started to really understand what food is supposed to do and how it's supposed to fuel our bodies, it made so much more sense. It became so less confusing. And food is designed for fuel. That's it. That's its purpose. Okay, so that's part of the what. Okay, the what, that first top reason is that you actually don't have the correct definition of healthy. You have missing pieces or incomplete or completely wrong information on what's healthy and what's not. And really where it's at is understanding food as fuel. Okay. Also, for example, I was trying to think of like a food would be like eggs, right? Or coconut oil. The controversy that goes back and forth between are eggs good for you or is coconut oil good for you? That kind of thing. Has anyone ever experienced that? If you think of something else that's been kind of controversial, that's a food, put it in the comments and let me know. So that's the first reason. The first reason is part of the what. Okay. Now, I will say there's probably lots of other things that can be included in the what, the why, and the how. But these are the top things that I've seen for the ladies who struggle in this group and other people I've talked to. Okay. So the second top reason that you fail to eat healthier is there's this, again, going back to the what of trying to find the what is healthy. They also don't tell you necessarily that you need to have an understanding. This is the second thing. You can write this down. You don't have an understanding of what's right for your body in your health journey. So I was thinking about this, and what works for one person, it might work for someone else. It might be close to what you need, right? And that's part of this process that we have to figure out. And I talk about this a lot, that there's this trial and error process that we all have to go through when we're trying to eat healthier or when we're trying to get healthy. We've got to have the right mentality of what that looks like when it comes to eating healthier and what is healthy food. And so I was thinking about this from that project perspective. If you're doing a new project, maybe it's a recipe, whatever it is, did you know all the ins and outs of what to do or why it needed to be done in a certain way when you first started that project? Again, the answer is no. You didn't know the what necessarily or the why it needed to be done a certain way. Okay, so I'm thinking about this from a perspective of if you are the person creating something, okay, not if you already have a recipe. Although you could probably use the example of teaching someone how to cook, right? You're teaching them how to, get all the ingredients that you need, look at the recipe, follow the recipe, and that kind of thing. So it could go that way too. But I'm really thinking more so from if you're starting from scratch, this is how you should look at eating healthier. And a lot of people, you've already started this process, right? You've already tried some things. And so you're in this process of trial and error, trying to figure out what's healthy for you and what's not. Now, there are consistencies across the board, and I'm going to get to that. And I talk about that in this group. There are consistencies, but I'm just sharing with you the top reasons why you fail is because you don't understand these things. Okay. Again, the what is you're misinformed or you're unprepared. Okay. The second thing is that you don't necessarily have all the pieces that you need for this project for yourself yet. And so this is a trial and error process. An example of this would be So I've shared this in this group. I have a thyroid disease. I have an autoimmune disease. And when I really started to hone in on my nutrition side of my journey, because I didn't for a very long time, I was that girl that was just going to eat whatever I wanted and work out a ton so I could eat whatever I wanted. I really started to experience some symptoms of, and with the thyroid disease, you can tend to gain weight pretty quickly. And I had gone up and down some, and my main symptom though was just fatigue. Fatigue was the biggest one. And I was a new mom, or fairly new mom at the time. And so I was exhausted, honestly. And so I was taking my thyroid meds like I was supposed to. And I could tell sometimes when maybe my thyroid medication needed to go up, it should go down. But it got to this point where every time they would check it, they would be like, no, you're fine. You're in the right ranges. And so I finally started to look into nutrition and how this could help me. One second. Sorry. I don't know. I get phlegmy. So anyways, this was part of my trial and error process when it came to nutrition. And I had to go to a professional. I went to a nutritionist. Best money I ever spent, because she taught me way more about my body and how to listen to my body, and even just food is fuel, all of this. And so I found that the why to what I needed was to stay more dairy, gluten, and soy free most of the time. Why? Because with an autoimmune disease, and if I talk to some of you, you have some different ones, your body is going to suffer from inflammation a lot more just because of what's going on internally with your body. And so eliminating dairy, gluten, and soy can really help lower the inflammation levels in your body. And so I started this process. It's probably been 3 or 4 years now. And I see the trial error and process. Mostly for me, it's the dairy that I just feel better. I sleep better, all sorts of things, lots of non-scale things. But then there are scale things, or I see that my body tones a little quicker. Excuse me. I still don't lose weight or tone very fast, though. My process it's going to take longer for me because of what's going on in my body. So this is what I'm talking about. This is that second thing, is you don't have the what to even do because you're misinformed and unprepared. And then you don't have necessarily these whys, which takes trial and error, which takes time, but you do have to step into that and start somewhere. Okay, so is this making sense? Sue says, yes. Sue says, you're speaking to me with thyroid issues, just went to a new doctor. Yeah. Very cool. Jennifer says carbs. Yeah. So when we're talking about foods that can be misinformed and unprepared, or there's just this controversy, carbs are a big one. Yes, definitely. By the way, I did a training on carbs in here. If you want me to send that to you, who said that? Jennifer, I'll just send that to you, because that's a big one. Okay. So, if this is making sense, to you, if you feel like you're missing your what or your why or both, put the what, or you just put what or why in the comments, or put both of those in the comments. That way I know, okay, you feel like you're kind of missing these pieces of your health journey of eating healthier. Okay. So now we kind of have the what and the why, right? And like I said, there could be a lot more whats and whys, but specifically for eating healthier, this is really where I've seen us struggle. By the way, if you have any questions, put them in the comments and I'll try to answer them too, whether that's now or if you watch the replay, put them in there. I look at all the comments. I try to get back to everybody. So, okay, we know the what and the why. Let's talk about the how. And so I've left the last 3 reasons into the how. And why did I do that? Because I have been blown away, even in my own life, as I have worked to figure out the what and the why of eating healthier, that it is really more so about the how than it is much of anything else. Now, still the what and the why matter, and they have to be on par. They have to be the right way. And you have to be working to figure out that trial and error process, but it's the how that makes the game. Okay. So again, I'm thinking about this analogy of making something, creating something from scratch. So how I thought about this was, maybe you have all the ingredients. Maybe you have some trial and error. of how to put this project together. Right now, we're going to put this project together. Okay. So you finally have what seems like most of the pieces for this project. Now you need the tools. So maybe you have nails, but you don't have a hammer, right? Maybe you need a screwdriver. I don't know, making a recipe, you need a whisk, whatever it is. The tools are the how of how you put eating healthier together. Okay, so you can have all the ingredients, you can have the recipe, but putting it together, you have to have tools to do that, right? So my last 3 reasons why you might be unprepared to eat healthier is part of the how. Okay, so the third reason, but the first reason to the how, third reason is that the application of your plan, it doesn't fit your life, your needs, or you aren't equipped to maintain that long term. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. So the tool that you need is the application of your plan to fit your life, your needs, and most often I see you're not well equipped with the right tools in order to make that plan work long term. For instance, anybody ever counted calories before? I know a lot of us have. And not that counting calories doesn't necessarily work. For a lot of us, for me, it worked. It did. But I don't know how many of us actually like counting calories. Anyone else? Not like counting calories. Why? Because it feels maybe restricting. And or it's something you have to fit into your life, whether you use MyFitnessPal or whatever other app that's out there. I think Newman is a big one. And again, I'm not dissing any of these things. I'm just saying that the application of how you eat healthier may not fit your life long term. It may not actually be something that you want to do even for a lifetime. And not that you're going to love every part of eating healthier. I'll tell you that I don't. But when you come into this mindset of why you need to get healthier, right? Working through the trial and error, it can become a joyful process. I really believe that and have experienced that myself. And the ladies I've worked with, they have come to this vision as well. Okay. So it's just that the application of how you put this project together to eat healthier, you don't have the right tools yet. And you do need to try some, and that's part of that trial and error that can help. But nobody wants to count calories for the rest of their life. And honestly, I will tell you this too, that you can count calories all day long, but you may not actually be eating healthy. And the whole point behind calories is a calorie is just a unit of energy for your body. And that's how it's a unit. And so your body needs a certain amount of calories in order to function, but it also needs the correct calories, the better calories, the balanced calories of food, which is why I teach macros, which are your carbs, fats, and proteins, because that is understanding how your body is supposed to be fueled by food. And so not that calories don't matter, because they still kind of do, but if that's the only thing you do to eat healthier, you may not actually be healthy. You might be eating too much fat. You might have high cholesterol still. You can lose a lot of weight and still have body fat. And there's a correct and a healthy, correct body fat composition that your body needs to have. Okay, so that's the third reason. Excuse me. Okay, so that's the third reason. The fourth reason that you are unprepared to eat healthy, and I didn't even realize that this was a major thing in my own life until recently, well, the past few years, and ladies that I've worked with. And this is going to really pertain to those of you who struggle with that failure mentality. Okay. And the fourth reason is partially too because you do feel restricted. And so again, you don't have the right tool because you feel restricted. So that's part of this fourth reason is that you do feel too restricted. And within that, you let holidays or the social functions or even other people dictate whether you stay on plan or not. I have seen this happen, and I am appalled that, and I don't, I'm not hating or anything or judging, but I have been a people pleaser in my lifetime. And it's still something I still struggle a tad bit with, but I've really learned to overcome this. And so when it comes to your relationship with food and you're a people pleaser, you might fall into this fourth reason of letting the holidays, social functions, other people. I have heard stories of other people saying to a person who's trying to eat healthier, who's in a social setting, that, oh, one piece of cake is fine. And this person has already said, no, I'm not going to eat a piece of cake. And then that person gives, and then they feel horrible about themselves because they ate a piece of cake, which again, I'm not saying you can't have a piece of cake, but if you end up throwing yourself into that failure, self-sabotage mentality, again, there's two things that have to be fixed there: your mentality about yourself and your understanding of food. Okay. And so that's the fourth thing, is that you let other people, you let holidays, you let social functions get you off track completely. Like it's one thing to have what I like to call off-plan meals. I think that you can have a donut every once in a while. I don't know if you saw, we went to Branson. I had a big old Hertz donut. I only have a Hertz donut probably once a year. Excuse me. I'm really sorry. Of course, I have issues with phlegm when I'm trying to talk. So anyways, that's where this failure mentality comes from. Is, again, it's a mentality that people dictate what you eat and what you shouldn't eat. And that's not how it should be at all. Okay, anybody else struggle with this? Julie says, preach, I do suffer from social sabotage. Yeah, it's a real thing. And now that I recognize it when I am coaching people, you are responsible for you. And if the Lord has called you to eat healthier, then you stick to your on plan, unless you have wiggle room in there too. I teach something called structured flexibility, which I'm not going to get too off track here, but this allows you to still eat on plan most of the time. You just switch things around. So if you're going to plan to eat something healthy one night and someone says, let's go out to eat, and this restaurant that you want to go to is going to have some of your favorite foods and you're going to really want some of those favorite foods, okay, eat some of your favorite foods that night. Save the other meal for the next day and get back on plan. Okay, that's how you're going to be more successful. That's just a little tip there for you. So this is that fourth thing. Again, you let that failure mentality happen because of social settings, holidays. I hear so many people say, oh, I'm going to start eating healthier when the new year starts. Oh, I'm going to start eating healthier after Easter. Don't let life dictate when you're going to start or how you're going to follow or let you completely fall off track. Now, again, these are practice things. It's taken me years to get into these mindsets. Okay, I'm just saying it's possible. But that's the fourth thing that gets in the way of you eating healthier is social settings, is holidays, it's people, unfortunately. And oftentimes that makes you feel restricted then too, right? Okay, so that's the fourth thing. And I'm going to recap these, so hang tight for just a second. So the last thing, my fifth and final reason why you find it you're unprepared to eat healthier is let's say you're putting this project together. You found some things that work. You have some good tools. It's coming together really well. But let's say, for instance, I'm thinking of a recipe. Usually on a recipe, it says you need to beat the eggs for 2 minutes, right? This is the same thing when it comes to our health journey. And so this fifth thing is that you haven't been consistent long enough on any type of plan. Let's say you have started a plan and you've started to see it work. It's starting to work, but one of these other things of the how, the tools, you lose it, you drop the whisk, and it's dirty now, so you have to find another tool, right? Instead of picking it up, washing it, and using it again like you should, what happens is you just give up, and you're like, okay, never mind. And so you think, oh, that plan doesn't work because you just haven't been consistent long enough. Honestly, this is the biggest one that I see. They say it takes about 4 weeks of doing a consistent habit for you to see some results. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks for you to really, let me rephrase that. 4 weeks for you to maybe feel different. Maybe you don't necessarily see results. Like you don't see the scale moving too much or inches coming off. It takes a good 6 to 8 weeks for you to start really noticing, wow, these pants, they fit better. And then it takes about 12 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks for other people to notice, hey, you're doing something different. You look different. So that's a whole 3 months of doing one thing consistently, right? And that's where we fall into this how we might have the right tool, we just haven't done it long enough. Okay. And this is the same. This is something I preach because when it comes to losing weight specifically, let's say, for instance, you lose all the weight you want to lose, however the tools fit together and it works for you. Now you want to maintain. The problem with that is that if you lose weight too quickly and you don't have the consistency mindset and you don't have food as fuel mindset and you haven't practiced those things long enough, then you're going to fall back into this cycle of gaining weight and losing weight and gaining weight and losing weight and never actually maintaining weight and maybe changing your body fat composition. Now, I believe that you can lose weight and change your body fat composition at the same time. That's my personal opinion, and that's what I teach. But some people like to lose weight first, and then they like to work on building muscle mass. Okay. The consistency that happened for you to lose the weight is the same consistency, probably with some tweaks that need to happen, but they're going to be the same consistency that has to happen for you to reach that next goal. Okay. So that's why I preach consistency. And I also preach that these top 5 reasons have to be in play, okay, when it comes to making sure that you're eating healthier. Okay. So does this make sense? Can you relate? Jennifer says, yes, I have no consistency with anything in life. Yeah. And it can be a struggle, right? And what I have found too is that when you put all these 5 reasons together, when they fit together really nicely, and again, it's some trial and error. That's why the why is thrown in there. You have to understand what you need in your life with your situation and your set of factors. It actually becomes a joyful process, especially when you allow the Lord to be a part of it. You're going to be changing up here. Your countenance, your spirit is going to be different too. So again, this is spiritually and physically. But then this process of getting healthier, you like it. I know it seems to be this thing that we dread. And when someone says, oh, you need to lose weight, especially your doctors, you're like, it's a tall order, right? It doesn't have to be that way. I promise you. And that's why I'm here. And I want to share these things with you. So to really quickly recap on these 5 top reasons why, again, you're unprepared or misinformed to eat healthier is number 1, you don't know what healthy really actually is. You don't understand food as fuel. You've heard all sorts of different things and you don't have consistency when it comes to the what. The second thing is that you don't have an understanding of what your body needs and why. And that can be related to, I guess it's technically related to the how of the application, right? The trial and error process happens in the how too, I will say that. But what's right for your body? You don't know, maybe specifically, I'm thinking of recipes. I love to bake, so that's why I think I'm thinking of this. But there's different recipes that I will take the bases of, right? You can tweak the spices, right? You can have a pancake recipe and throw cinnamon in there, and I don't know what else you would throw in there, and make them taste different, and they're still just as good, right? Maybe even better. So that's how I think about that, is what is it that your body needs? What spices do you need to throw in there? So that's the second thing. You have to have an understanding of what your body needs for eating healthier and work through that trial and error process. And that's the what and the why. And then the third thing is the how. The third top reason is the application. If you don't have the correct tools, the application of fitting it together in your life and the puzzle pieces of how it goes together and the right tools to mix it together, you're not going to be successful. And or it's just not going to work long term, right? So that's the third thing. The fourth thing is you let holidays, social functions, people dictate when you should eat what, when you're trying to stay on plan. And so then you also feel really restricted sometimes within this feeling of failure, right? And then the fifth thing is that you just haven't been consistent long enough, right? If you have a lot of these pieces figured out together, then you probably just haven't been consistent long enough. And or there's just some tweaks that need to be made. There's still a trial and error process in consistency. And that can be the most frustrating thing to learn, I think, for all of us, because we want the process to happen quick, right? But the reality is, and I'll be really honest with you, your body didn't gain all that weight in 6 months, right? Talk to a lot of people, it's a gradual thing. If you lose weight too quickly, there's hormone problems that you can have. Your body just gets confused, and then you're going to obviously gain weight back because your body might think you're starving. There's all sorts of reasons. And so if you teach your body what it needs consistently and you lose the weight the correct way, I'm going to say, in a slower fashion. I know people don't like this. And I'm not saying there aren't specific reasons why you shouldn't lose weight quicker or not, but the pattern of how you do it does matter because it matters for the consistency of your lifetime. Okay. So that was a lot. Is this making sense? Do you guys have any questions? Jen says, I feel like you're describing me to a T. Yeah. This is what I found. And so here's the thing. Maybe you guys have heard me talking about my 30-day boot camp coming up, the Freedom from Food boot camp. Here's the thing. Because of these 5 top reasons, because I've discovered this, and because this is what actually works in my life and the people I coach, I can't tell you today, for instance, Julie is one of my clients, but Jen or Sue, they're not one of my clients right now. I can't tell them specifically right here on this call, on this live training, what you should do specifically. I need to know your life. I need to know what you've tried. And there's a lot of things that are, similar. Like I said, there are consistencies, and I'm going to get to that in just a second here. But what I do know is that there are consistencies. I understand food is fuel. That's what I teach. I know where most of us need to start in this process of the what, and then I help you work through this trial and error process. Sometimes that trial and error process actually doesn't involve me. It might involve a doctor. It might involve a nutritionist. It might involve, a physical therapist. Even I can't know everything, but I help you get going on this process. Okay, that's what I do as a health coach. And so with my 30-day boot camp, we're going to be buckling down. It's a little bit more intensive, but I am so excited about this because I have spent hours and hours just either praying about it or talking to ladies about how do we understand food and how do we get over failure with food. Again, like I mentioned, it's the 2 things. And again, go back and watch my training on how to get rid of that failure mentality, because that's going to be included in this boot camp. Okay. By the way, I do have spots that are being filled. And so I'm going to explain this really quick, but I only have 30 spots available and they are getting filled. So we have a few more days. We will start April 11th, which is next Monday. So if you're serious about finding more freedom from food, I would highly recommend signing up ASAP. I'm going to share with you how you can do that. But again, I want us to get rid of this failure mentality, especially when you struggle with being a people pleaser, maybe not understanding food as fuel and self-sabotaging yourself when it comes to feeling really restricted. You tend to suffer with these mentalities. Not everybody, and we all struggle with this in some way, shape, or form, I've realized. So what I want to do is take you through a spiritual biblical aspect of understanding our view of who God is, because we are created in God's image, right? And we need to understand that. And so we're going to look at who God is and some attributes of him. And then we're going to look at who we are being made in his image, okay? So that's that first part of this, is getting rid of that failure mentality and helping you get rid of this. This also gets rid of that shame and guilt that we shouldn't be living in as believers, as followers of Christ. Okay, this is a game changer. This is a game changer to how you move forward in your health journey. Okay, and then part of this other 30-day boot camp is going to be understanding the what, the why, and how you get healthier and eat healthier. Okay, I'm going to take you through 3 nutrition habits that have to be consistent no matter what. And again, this is not a quick fix. There's no products involved. It is real food that I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you this process of understanding food as fuel. And we're going to work on practicing 3 of the major habits that need to be consistent. So again, and in this bootcamp, there's no restrictions. There's no meal plan. I'm just teaching you. You're going to practice things, okay? But I'm going to help you learn how to understand food as fuel in a way that's different than anything I've ever seen before. And I realized this a long time ago when I was doing this myself, because I love sugar, I love certain things, and I didn't want to say that I couldn't have anything. And so what I've learned is that, and I do this a lot in my life, even with like other habits in my life, it's crazy. I learned to know what to put in, not just what to take out. And so what happens is there's this weaning process that happens, right? And I actually think it's not that you shouldn't eliminate sugar. You should. But our bodies get used to less and less sugar, and you crave it less and less. We'll just say that. So when you use this weaning process, your body actually learns what it needs, what's healthy. You actually crave sugar less. And I'm just using sugar as an example. There's other things. But we use this weaning process as I teach you how food is designed to help you fuel your body, okay? We're going to start to do these things, and we're going to learn some trial and error. We're going to we're going to see what works for you. You're going to start this process, or maybe continue this process if you've already started it. And I'm going to help you apply these things to your life. So the what, the why. And also, I thought this was interesting. We are going to be doing this 30-day boot camp over Easter weekend. Okay? We're not going to let the holidays get the best of us this time. We're not going to let people tell us, dictate to us. Now, if you have a peep, one peep, is that going to ruin your progress? No. And we're going to work on that mindset. Okay? But again, we're not going to let people dictate this process. I really believe and that you can learn to eat healthier at any time in your life. It's just, you don't have all these all the formula, we're going to say, these top reasons why and how, the what, the why, and the how, to put it all together for yourself. And that's okay. You don't have to know them all. Okay. So if this is something that you're interested in, put freedom in the comments and let me know. I'll send you the details. Again, there's a few days left to sign up. I have spots left, but there are only 30 spots. I want to make this something that is more intimate. We do group setting things, but I just want to give myself enough space and time to help you work through these things in a personal one-on-one way within kind of a group setting too. So registration will close Saturday morning. So again, and this is a low-cost program. It's very low cost. It's probably the best money you'll ever spend, like it was for me. I spent probably a good $600 with my nutritionist, and it was the best money I've ever spent. And my program is only $197. Okay. So, and if you need a payment plan, I can do payment plans. I am committed to helping you learn these things because God has called me to. And it isn't, I think it's something that we need help with in order to thrive in life, right? We've got to be healthy in order to do the things that God has for us. Okay. And so my passion around this is teaching you spiritually where your brain should be when you understand who you are in Christ. And again, give you some education on food and walking with you and doing that. Okay. So put freedom in the comments if you're interested. I will send you that. I see Sue says, yes, I want to sign up. Awesome. I'll send you the details. If you're watching later, definitely put freedom in the comments or any questions. Of course, I will answer them. But if you want help learning how to be better prepared and realistic when it comes to eating healthier, please comment below or reach out. And also keep inviting your friends, your mama friends or your women friends who struggle with these things to the group. Share this training with them. Share the how to get over failure with your relationship with food, because that's what we're doing this in this group. And I'm super excited to keep sharing with you. So that's all I have for today. You guys have a great day. I will see you guys next time and have a good Wednesday. Bye, guys.